Show number 399. 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. It's been a long time since we haven't posted on a Monday, 399 of them. Let me start by saying thank you to everyone who has engaged with us over the last 399 episodes. I truly appreciate it. I get asked all the time why we keep doing the shows, because I like doing it. That's why. I don't need a million views. It only takes one view to the right person to end up being a lead to my company, which has happened more times than I can count because of this show over the years. So it continues, my friends, and we will be definitely arriving at 400, and we'll be doing that show next week. But for now, right now, we're in this week. And so this week brings me the start of December, always fun, always interesting, because it seems like, and this started last month, it seems like we forget where the fuck we are, right? We forget that Thanksgiving is the same Thursday or the third Thursday or fourth Thursday of every month, of every November. We forget that Christmas is on the 25th. We forget that New Year's is on the 31st. And I say this because we're not already prepared for these things. We don't have holiday messaging. We don't get up fast enough into our specials. We don't get into our planning enough for the next year, because this is the end of year push. All we do right now is think, since Black Friday, we got to push. This is how we're going to close our year. What have we learned doing this every single year? What have we learned? I'll tell you what I've learned. We can be prepared ahead of time. We can use data to help predict and forecast our futures. We can dig in November and get a plan for December before it's halfway through December. We can do that. It's also interesting that all of a sudden the urgency, cranked up a little bit since the end of November. What's up with that? Why does that happen every year? Why does everyone turn it up at the end of the year push? It's the same thing that happens, I think, in a given month. Traditionally, automotive will do 70% of its business in the last 2 weeks of a month. But there's no urgency in the first half, maybe. Is that why? I've seen it. Why is that? Where's the urgency, and why does it need to get turned on? Is it because, oh my God, the month will end and I will have not done what I needed to do? Maybe. How many of you are getting ready for 26 right now? That's a good question, right? Because again, I think we get stuck in the year-end push. We'll deal with January when January gets here, or that's a 26 problem. Well, good news, bad news, my friend. 26 is around the corner. It's less than 30 days out from this show. What then will we say about where we stand? And so, look, my job is to work with people and advise people on what's next, right? I will say that what's next is about taking care of the now, but also having a mind for the future, because the industry is going through yet another situation, whether that's, you want to call it a downturn, you want to call it compression, you want to call it just maybe sluggish market, whatever word people want to use. We're clearly in something different than we've been in for the last 4 years. What are we doing to be prepared? What are we doing to combat all of that? From expenses to people to training, what are we doing and how are we doing it? I asked earlier what you've learned. It's a big part of what I think people don't think about is you've been doing this, and I have clients that I've worked with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years. Some do forecasting, some don't. Some get monthly specials out by the 3rd, others get them out by the 15th. If you want to be consistent, you got to be consistent. It's that simple. And I struggle with it. There's things I think I've got absolutely dialed in, consistent, and then boom, they fall off. And then once they fall off, they kind of just stay fall off. And that's a bit of a problem as well, because it's not helping us move the needle necessarily for that. But here we are, end of the year push. Now, we'll ratchet up the pressure on folks, won't we? But why? Why now? And I say why now, because if you've been treating people a certain way for 10 and a half months, and then all of a sudden from Black Friday on, you turn and change differently because you're trying to close a year, get a number, hit of this, hit of that, that pressure for a lot of folks isn't helpful. Not everyone takes pressure and turns it into diamonds. Some people take pressure and turn it into crushed sand. Okay. Because they can't handle the pressure. And so I I think about managers a lot. I think about the retail environment. And look, I think about the external retail environment. So, in the vendor space and how we all sort of interact. This company does not have a yearly goal. Sorry. Doesn't have a rooftop count, doesn't have a financial hit. It doesn't. Only goal we've ever really had is do better than last year because that's kind of the car kid in me. But we've planned and talked about how we're going to get there. And this year we've executed on those ideas and visions, and now we've gotten there. So what will we do for next year? Well, we'll be talking about that now and getting ready into January. The difference is a little bit from me to retail because retail has that 30-day fold in, fold out. I don't have that. I don't live that way with my company. I don't look at 30-day cyclical numbers like that. I try to look at quarterly data. I try to take 6 months and really look at what things have. But I'm also a future guy, so I spend a little bit of time looking back, but a lot of time planning for the future and using data and information to help guide those thoughts. I don't think folks do it enough. I think people think that maybe the ego gets in the way and ego knows better, but ego knows not, my friends. Use data, use available people within your organization. If you have managers that you know will be with you, bring them into the fold, get them involved. One of the bigger things that I love about what we do here is that everyone gets involved in their department. They run it, they take ownership of it. And it means a lot, when you're trying to grow a business, change a business. It means a lot when people can take ownership. And the way we set up, you have to be really, really self-sufficient. We don't have weekly meetings. I don't do that shit. I don't believe in that. You got to be able to handle your own business, do your work. If we need to hop on a phone call, chat for 5 minutes, let's do it. Catch up, whatever. But we're not going to have some mandated call. We're going to get on and people are going to start telling me about their week. I ain't got time for that shit. And I'm not sharing I don't need to be telling everybody what my week looks like because it's got enough bullshit in it. So we have to be better strategic planners, my friends. Really, that's really what I want to pitch to you. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. It's the beginning of December. It's Monday the 1st. You're closing out November. I respect it. So go close it out. But keep in mind, the year-end push is good. But the year-end push with preparation for next year, that's where the magic happens. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the start of December. Get out and move some metal.